Coco's elite skill, competing her ass off, winning when she's still searching for something. It's a negative because the form isn't there.
Tonight, on the most hallowed grass in the world, two Americans are about to collide, and only one of them walks away with a place in the Wimbledon semifinals. Coco Gauff, Jessica Pegula. 9 times they've faced each other on the WTA Tour. 9 times the tennis world has watched two contrasting styles clash. And now, under the weight of center court, they meet for a 10th time, with the highest stakes either has ever faced against one another. Let's rewind for a moment, because to understand how enormous this moment is, you need to understand what it took for Gauff just to get here. 3 rounds in, and something wasn't right. Gauff was winning, yes, grinding past Tamara Korpach, surviving a scare against Solana Sierra, battling through a roller coaster with Claire Liu, but the performances were uneven. Choppy, the kind of tennis that wins matches but raises eyebrows. Even her biggest supporters were starting to wonder if her game was built for grass at all. Then came Belinda Bencic, a dangerous, in-form opponent who had every reason to believe she could end Gauff's run right there in the 4th round. Bencic took the first set. The doubts grew louder. Was this the moment Gauff's Wimbledon dream would unravel? Instead, something shifted. Gauff didn't just survive, she transformed. Down a set, she found a version of her game rarely seen from her on the surface. Stab volleys off her shoe tops at the biggest moments. Daring net approaches. A forehand that, instead of tensing up under pressure, started carving clean, decisive winners down the line. Set by set, point by point, she clawed the match away from Bencic, closing it out 4-6, 6-3, 6-4. It was by every account the best tennis Gauff had played all tournament, a performance that silenced the doubters and set the stage for something bigger. But across the draw, another story was unfolding, quieter, but just as significant. Jessica Pegula, a player whose Wimbledon history has been defined more by frustration than triumph, was quietly putting together something special. Facing 18-year-old rising star Iva Jovic, an opponent with the youth, hunger, and fearlessness to cause an upset, Pegula delivered a composed, clinical performance. The result, a place in the Wimbledon quarterfinals for the first time since 2023. For Pegula, this wasn't just a win. It was a redemption arc playing out in real time. Grass has never fully rewarded her in the past, but this year, something feels different. Her flat, low, relentless ground strokes are finding the surface that seems built for them. Low center of gravity, minimal spin, balls that skid through the court rather than kick up. It's the exact recipe that grass demands. And it's a recipe Gauff, with her heavier topspin-based game, has historically struggled to counter on these courts. And that brings us to the man who's seen it all, Andy Roddick, the last American man to lift a Grand Slam singles trophy. A 3-time Wimbledon finalist, someone who understands, better than almost anyone alive, what it takes to win on this grass. Roddick didn't hold back his admiration for what Gauff produced against Bencic, calling it by far her best match of the tournament. He praised the way she attacked the net, the way her forehand turned from a liability into a weapon, the way she showed a glimpse of a more complete, more dangerous version of herself. But when it came time to pick a winner for Tuesday's blockbuster clash, Roddick didn't hesitate. He's backing Pegula, not because he doubts Gauff's talent, far from it, but because of 2 simple, brutal truths. First, the head-to-head has consistently favored Pegula in big moments. Second, and perhaps more importantly, grass suits Pegula's game in a way it simply doesn't suit Gauff's. It's a bold statement, a dangerous one, even because the numbers tell a very different story. Gauff actually holds the edge in this rivalry. 5 wins to 3. She has out-dueled Pegula more often than not across their careers, and their most recent meeting at the 2025 WTA Finals was a 3-set battle that could have gone either way, before Pegula eventually prevailed 6-3, 6-7, 6-2 in the round-robin stage, a match that propelled her all the way to the semifinals, where she eventually fell to the eventual champion Elena Rybakina. So, who really has the edge walking onto center court? Let's go back to the only 2 times these two have collided on grass, because this is where the story gets even more tense. The first time, back in 2023 at the Eastbourne Open, it was Gauff who came out on top, dismantling Pegula in straight sets, 6-3, 6-3. A statement win. Proof that her game could translate to the surface after all. But then, just a year later on the grass courts of Berlin, the script flipped entirely. Pegula fought back, grinding out a tense, tight 2-set victory, 7-5, 7-6, a result that marked the 20th top 10 win of her career. It was a signal, a warning, that when the stakes are high and the courts are fast, Pegula is far from the underdog many assume her to be. 2 grass meetings, 1 win apiece, no clear answer. So now here we are, Wimbledon quarterfinals, center court, the pressure of a Grand Slam semifinal berth hanging in the balance. 2 Americans, 2 contrasting styles, and a legend of the sport openly predicting an upset in the head-to-head. Will Gauff carry forward the fearless, aggressive tennis she discovered against Bencic, the volleys, the forehand winners, the newfound confidence at the net? Or will the fast, flat, relentless ball striking of Pegula finally tip the overall head-to-head in her favor on the surface that suits her best? One thing is certain. Whoever wins this battle punches their ticket to the Wimbledon semifinals. One step closer to a Grand Slam final that no American woman not named Serena Williams has reached at this tournament in years. The history says Gauff. The surface says Pegula. And in just a matter of hours, all the predictions, all the analysis, all the debate will mean absolutely nothing. Because only the scoreboard will decide who's right. 2 Americans, 1 dream, and a rivalry about to add its most explosive chapter yet.